Welcome back to another video. Today we are diving into the performance of some of the biggest P2P lending platforms in Europe. As always, it's crucial to keep an eye on how these platforms are actually performing, because let's face it, the advertised returns don't always tell the full story. Now, just a quick reminder, this is not investment advice, but it's generally smarter to stick with platforms that have a solid track record. It's much safer than gambling your money on newer or less reliable platforms. Alright, let's jump into the statistics and compare how things look this month versus the last. So starting with the big players in October, Mintos, Estate Guru and Peerberry. Now, just because these are some of the largest platforms, it doesn't mean they all automatically give you the best returns. Take Mintos for example. They managed to grow their outstanding portfolio last month, which sounds great, but there is a catch. They also increased their funds in recovery by about 13 million euro. That is quite significant. While they have not released any official statement about new defaults, they did update their overdue page, adding a new report. This report sheds some light on suspended lenders and expected recovery rates, which you can find in our news section on P2P Empire. But here's the thing, over 25% of the loans historically listed on Mintos are non-performing. This means investors are not earning interest and they cannot withdraw their funds from those affected loans. And that's obviously not great. Next up is Estate Guru. Things are not looking so great here either. Investors are continuing to withdraw funds, and as a result, the outstanding portfolio is shrinking. To make matters worse, there has been a slight increase in defaulted loans in active markets. The CEO of Estate Guru had hoped to recover around 38 million euro this year and bring the funds in recovery down to under 100 million, but as of the first 8 months, they have only recorded 5.83 million euro. And since January, the total defaulted funds have actually gone up by 5.9 million. Right now, over 55% of Estate Guru's portfolio is defaulted, so it's safe to say most investors are not seeing the 10% annual returns they were hoping for. Now let's switch gears to some positive news. Peerberry is continuing to perform well. The amount of non-performing war-affected loans is consistently decreasing, pushing Peerberry toward the top of the industry. Investors are happy with steady repayments, and there has even been a slight increase in loan volumes. The demand is still higher than the supply, but if you are manually investing, you can still see great returns. The platform is also working to onboard new providers to keep up with the investor demand. Now let's talk about the platforms with flawless portfolio performance. Robocash, Esketit, Fintown, Inrento and Indemo are the standouts here. If you have been following our channel, you will already know that Robocash has been the top performer since I started doing these monthly updates at the beginning of 2023. The same goes for Esketit and Inrento. They have consistently delivered solid returns with no unexpected delays or defaults. However, there is a small downside. The current loan supply on Robocash and Esketit is rather limited, which can lead to something called cash drag. Basically, if there are not enough loans available, you won't be able to invest larger sums of money. If that's a concern for you, you might want to check out Inrento or Fintown. Both platforms saw an increase in their outstanding portfolio last month, meaning there is more loan availability. Indemo is another platform that continues to meet its obligations to investors, but here's the catch. Indemo has only been around for a year and its loan terms are typically 2 years. So while everything is going well so far, the track record is still short, and that's something you definitely should not ignore. If you want to learn more about Indemo, I've got a short review linked right here. Outside of the top platforms, there are still some decent options worth mentioning. Income Marketplace recently started offering loans from Ibancar, which provides yields on car loans in Mexico and Spain. Capitalia is another solid choice, offering investments in loans from Baltic companies. And if you're looking for secured loans, Krautpeer and Lande are worth a look. They both report a default rate of under 10%. Now, I've got to warn you about a few platforms where things are not as clear. Twino, for instance, has not updated its statistics since July, and they don't share details about their defaulted portfolio in the Philippines. Reinvest24 has not published anything since the summer, leaving investors in the dark about their 26 million portfolio. Swoper's statistics are a bit unclear too, but they did release their financials for last year, showing a loss of 100,000 euro while paying out over 7 million euro in interest last year. Latin Market reports an increase in its outstanding portfolio, and Invest also reports growth, likely due to the 50,000 euro in bonuses they used to attract more investments last month. A new platform to keep an eye on is LoanVest, which is currently offering investments in personal loans from Mexico. As you can see, some platforms are not as transparent as others, and if they are not publishing regular data, it's harder to trust them. If you're planning to invest a larger sum, I recommend sticking with the top performing platforms that have decent loan availability and a proven track record. Many of them also offer attractive bonuses for new investors, which you can find on our bonus page at P2P Empire. For those who want to dig into the numbers and compare platforms in detail, head over to our comparison page where you can calculate the expected profits from various platforms. Remember, the better the portfolio performance, the more likely you are to achieve the returns you are aiming for. So that's all for this month's update. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.